The tea is a nice warm level.
Oh, you're drunk.
Good morning. Woo! I think ad should be over, so we could get started. We can do the thing. We can do the thing. Do the ting 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 a ding ding. Good morning, guys. Beat drop GG's on first. You got first for 1 times. How you doing? Crazy GG's on second. How you doing? Kels GG's on third. How you doing, cutie? I'm so sorry for all this spam that I have sent you, Kels. You're in for a treat.
Good day to you. Good day to you. Good evening. Oh my.
No. Hi, Pengu. How you doing? And hi, Saves. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I've got hair on my lap. I've got a hair on my lap. Okay. And hi, Billy, sweetie. How are you? I've had some like cheese and onion like bagel, and I don't like how my mouth feels even after I brush my teeth. It doesn't feel nice. Wow, that's crazy. That crazy landed. Hello, cutie. Hi, crazy. Okay. Are we ready to play some games? Yes. Hello, Art. I can't say, but I'm dropping you a lurk. Thank you, Grim. I appreciate the lurk always. I hope you're doing well. We are going to do the final boss today. Well, I don't know if we're going to do it, but, you know, we're going to attempt it. It's the only thing left. But I kind of, like, I have an addiction. I have an addiction. I started a Tomodachi Life yesterday, and I'm not going to lie, it's all I can think about, and I just want to play it. But I guess we're here. We're going to play Elden Ring, I guess. But just know that's where my mind is and where my heart is right now. I'm fine about to cross borders in order to have a hot dog. Interesting. I hope it's delicious, though. I hope it's delicious. Don't laugh at me, okay? I knew as soon as I saw the direct, I was like, months ago, I was like, I want this game. Just know I don't want to be here. Kind of, yeah. No, I always want to be here. I love being here. But I really want to play Tomodachi Life. Oh, the only reason I stopped playing it last night is because they all went to fucking bed. They sleep. They sleep. What the fuck is that? I wanted to sit and play. Yes, it was almost midnight, but the point is irrelevant. Like, just let me play. What are you talking about? It's such a good game. But I guess we're here to play Elden Ring. And to try and do the final boss. Don't they understand gamer hours, right? And you can't even wake them up, I don't think. I think you just... Unless you just set your time zone to... a different time zone. Because it goes by your time zone, is the thing. So... I guess you could change it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I am absolutely appalled. But it is what it is, I guess. Hi, Ringtail. How you doing? Yeah, you're gonna have to time travel, set them back a few hours. Yeah, it's fine though, because I am usually going to sleep at that time anyway. But when I search, it says they actually go to bed usually like 9 to 10 p.m. So I think I'm lucky I had them up as long as I did. But yeah, they were all just going to sleep, and I was like, well, this is bullshit. Now we're gonna have to wampa stop this guy. So yeah, I guess this is what we're gonna do. We were doing alright last time though, not gonna lie. We were doing okay. I'm excited though. I'm excited. I did not realize how much I was gonna love this bloody game. There we go. Okay. Not bad. Oh, just missed it. Oh, you cheeky fucker. Boy, she knows. Early. almost, almost. No. That was going well, though. That was going well. Get the title screen, chested motherfucker! Yeah. So basic, just like the title screen. Man, he doesn't don't even have as much damage as Millennia. Gonna whomp him good tonight. He's definitely more similar to the other bosses, I'd say. You know, I feel learning the other bosses was very different to Millennia. Like, you could learn their moves, but Millennia, that one move was so damaging, and it was really hard. Like, you just don't get a lot of time to learn it, whereas I don't know, it, like, Millennia's just felt all over the place, whereas, you know, him and the other one seemed very kind of like regimented. I don't know, but we got him like halfway, so that's not bad. It was a good warm-up. I think that was pretty solid. Yeah, she's the famous one. She is the famous one. So we'll see how it goes. I think we did good. We got a poise break. Got crit or whatever it is. I don't know. Both. So I guess we'll just we'll keep giving it a go. So you can get in and do like 2 hits straight off the bat. Should be more careful then. Rawr! Hi Rose! How you doing? Right? I'm not getting them timings right. Forget that happens. It's okay, we'll learn it. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna do this today. Not today. This time. Because we definitely don't have enough blasts for the next bit, but we're figuring it out. We'll figure it out. I fucking held it instead of rolled. I think we're getting better at this. There's potential. Not bad. Not bad. Ella, boy, thank you for the alert, cuties. I appreciate it. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Where'd I get to?
Hello, Mother Trucker.
Hello, Mother Trucker. Hello, Lucy. How you doing? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was talking about how I don't want to be here. I wanna sit and play my new game on my Switch. I have an addiction. I'm fine. Should have now in a couple hours, but even to go. Ooh, I hope you have a lovely time, Rose. I hope you have a lovely time. Give run. Thank you. That was our second attempt today, so not bad. Oh my god, completely forgot. That's okay. How you doing? I didn't know if you'd want to be here anyway, because I know you've not done the final boss yet. But how you doing? Happy Friday, Ronan. How you doing? Hi, hello. Like I said, I didn't know if you want to be here, because I don't know if you wanted, like, to avoid spoilers. Okay. That was alright. I think we're learning. We're learning, I think. Maybe we got in pretty somewhat low. We gotta perfect it. Perfect the recipe. Oh yeah, I haven't done this one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You tried it though, didn't you? I remember you touching the light. I feel like you tried it. I did not have time to do enough. I hesitated when running here. No. Yeah. That was a really bad one. Let's go again. Let's forget that happened. Let's think about my attempt before that. And we'll go from there. Rip, very much so. Very much so. Okay. They can't all be good runs, can they? You beat Millennia, you got this too. We just did a really good attempt beforehand. I feel I'm learning more of his moves. You know, I'm dodging them, knowing when I can get a hit in and things like that. Learn to dodge that kick faster, and I keep dodging that one too early. The hammer is so annoying. Good this time. No, that's really bad. Yeah, let's just think about the other game you started. Yeah, that's where my mind's at. I just want to be in my little Tomodachi Island, to be honest. I'm having a great time. Jim's finally messaged me about all the spam I was sent him this morning. I started it last night, and I just kept sending videos to Jim. I was like, look at this. Look at this. We're meeting. We're meeting. I was like, we're becoming friends. He's like, oh my god. I think in reality, he's like, just stop sending me videos now. This is a lot. I'm like, no. You're in on this journey with me. Right, let's do better this time. I forget he does that double swing. Pressed it too late. Fucking dodged. See, sometimes he doesn't do an extra one, and then sometimes he does. Fucking extra one again. Why can't I get out? It's annoying. Oh, the two. I forget he does that. I feel like I dodged that and that's bullshit. Too early again. Can't figure that one out. What the fuck, man? Feels so cheesy sometimes, honestly. Like, just cheap shots all the time. What the fuck? I can't even see what's going on! Yeah, I did that way too. We haven't done anything. But we're figuring it out. Figuring out. I feel like I was dodging that. Okay. Since when does he teleport then? That, I don't know. Sometimes it just seems like absolute bullshit, I'm not gonna lie. Hi Pengu, how you doing? Like, he was there and then all of a sudden, like, teleport. It's like, since when do you do that? Like, the fuck? The fuck? This is brand new information. I think that, yeah, that is his attitude. Okay. But again, like, we're getting better. It's not perfect, but we're getting better. We're getting near the end. Yes, we should have many more flasks, but, you know, we're learning. We're learning. 1, 2. I don't know that one. I haven't figured the time out on that one. Man with many talents, it seems. Makes fucking annoying sparks. Did you just count? What do you mean? Like, did I count to see how long? Which bit, sorry? I do that too. I know I should count that one. But I've not figured that out yet. I've not figured out how long. He doesn't do it like enough times. Okay. Right, in we go. Big hit. Slice. Slice. Okay, I wasn't quick enough. And hit. And hit. Dodge. No. And dead. Oh, okay, cool. Like, sometimes there's no effect, and then sometimes there is. I don't get it. And then he fucking teleports, and then he just thinks he can... just fucking... And then he just does whatever he wants. I don't get it. Go away! Oh my god. This fucking guy's pissing me off. Messed up. Messed up. He crazy? He is so crazy. YouTube is I'm trying. He just... Sometimes he's so much more aggro than I'm used to. He's bloody annoying. I think that's my takeaway from the boss. He's annoying. That's how I feel about it. Quite passionately. This bit's annoying. Having to do this bit every time. Bit tedious. Oh my god. Get your timings right. Because I pressed dodge before you swang at me, so I don't understand how you did that. Oh, just kill me. Just kill me. Yeah, it's the going in, the loading. It's all a bit of a annoying. Just do it. You'll get it and start staggering him. I've got some staggers. We've done that. We've got some crits. It has happened. Need to focus. Need to focus. You're right, Fluff. What are you doing? It's like the skip thing every time. It's annoying. Let's try maybe. Oh, skip. Literally a bum show, mate. Like that's just bullshit, man. What the fuck? Some moves are just silly. Some moves are just silly. Like, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, some are just... just seems like cheating. I feel like I dodged that. I don't know. Some just feels cheesy as fuck, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I got suck off. The teleport stuff is rough. There's just some which seem like, come on dude, this is stupid. Is it me? Or are most similar or linear gold attacks dodgeable to behind him? What do you mean, Rose? I don't think you can really get behind him because he just teleports all the time. Some great dodges there. Thank you. We're getting there. He's just... he feels extremely a bit tedious. Very cheesy, tedious little bitch. Like you did with rolling behind and those attacks, feel like they have a similar pattern there. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just know it is quite hard to get behind him. He just seems to just be in front of your face the whole time, annoyingly. Hi, Skellen. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Cats went me up half hour early. Damn. Well, maybe you can get back to sleep. Figured I might as well lurk. Thank you. There we go. Oh, why can't I get a drink? I went too early. What's that? Too early. I keep doing that one too early. Yeah, too early. Oh god, I just can't even get a fucking minute kill. Oh my god! Some just seem ridiculous, honestly. Why did I fucking jump? Cats need to respect the alarm. Yeah, they don't. My cats wake me up in the night like, let me out. Thank you. My body doesn't go back to sleep. I feel that. I feel that. You got this? Thank you. Cats are natural alarms. So is kids. 30 minutes of extra sleep, it makes you feel much worse. Yeah, I guess. If you mean like you go back to sleep. Thank you for doing the shout. You for scaling, cutie. Okay. Alright, come on. Are you playing Planet of Lana today? You know, sit.
Oh, my bad.
Hi, my little phone's a beer. How you doing? Yeah, no. You know. Let me know if you would like to know what he is strong or weak to. It's fire, isn't it? I think he's weak to fire. I'm not sure. I'm not feeling great. Oh, you're thinking you don't want to stream today? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay. Anything in particular? Or you're like, no, I don't want to share. My bloody nail. You know when your nail goes too short? That's what I got on my pinky at the moment. I'm not about it. Oh, no, guys, I'm just gonna go again.
Me? What the? Oh! Can you dial? Do something.
Hi, buddy. Oh my god. How you doing? Did you enjoy my spam this morning? God, he's so aggressive. at this. What's fucking annoying? I feel like I time it like just right, like apparently don't. He's dodging my shit! Like, bruh, that's not fair. That just seems ridiculous, to be honest, honestly. Like, every time I try to hit him, he's gone! Every time! Every time I'm trying to hit him, he's just like, bye bitch! And it's like... so annoying. Right, let me catch up a sec. Where'd I get to? Ring your Eldens, yes. How you doing, Fons? Hope you're having a good day. Yes, I've been obsessed with Tomodachi Life and it's become my everything. Let me know. Wait, did I read that? I feel like I read that. Yeah, I read that. What did I wake up to this morning, buddy? I don't know what to tell you. Kels is enough with you. I don't know what's happened. Woke up with a massive headache. Oh no, I'm sorry. I feel like you're getting headaches quite a lot as well. I always clip my nails too short. Yeah, it's just, I don't clip my nails. They just do that thing where they like get cool and then they get cool too short. Fire or frost words, unfortunately he doesn't bleach. Yeah, I did have, like, I was trying to use some fire grease, but I don't have a lot. Maybe I should get some more. Sleep was horrendous, kept waking up. Any reason why? Bro has unlimited stamina. Literally, and it's like, I don't have that much stamina. Do you want to visit? I know, right? Right? Hi, Kale! Did you beat? Yeah, we did last stream. We did. Hi, Fast. How you doing? How you doing today, Kale? Teleport, but I know. Random funny thing. Friend drew a chibi of my girlfriend since they already did one for me. They followed description. But I realized the vibe felt familiar. Apparently, as a chibi character, my girlfriend has similar vibe to Tempesto, and I cannot unsee it. Interesting. Interesting. I'm kind of intrigued now. Do you feel so far this is easier than Millennia? It is easier. It is easier. Just annoying. Just annoying, to be honest. Like, we're getting him quite low, I'd say. I'd played the Pragmata demo earlier to see if my PC will crash or fly away, and we were good. And how was the demo? Did you like it? The game looks good, but I'm like, what really does it contribute? Is my mind. I feel so sorry for Kills. Why? I'm here for it. I moved Snooki away. I deleted Snooki because I'm like, this is what I'm here for now. I ship this. And then I made Nayla. And then I was like, I don't want Nayla to be alone, so then I made Kane. Num Num! Hi Num Num, how you doing, cutie? GG's, GG's. Thank you, Kale. Bunny, thank you for the 40 stream streak. Thank you. Aw, how you doing? Ash, hi. Hi, Ash. Hello. Thank you for the hydrate and the little C. I did it, but I only just answered. Eep, and Nemi. That was... Chat scrolled. So you've got Ash saying Eep and Nemi hide, but then Bunny says boink this bastard. So when I scrolled, I thought Ash said Eep and Nemi bastard, and I was like, what? I'm gonna try, Bunny. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna DM you the drawing. If you... Oh yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah, do it. Do it. I'm good. How is my tea? Tea's good. Tea's good. Like I said, I got Tomodachi Life and I've been really enjoying it. And we're just gonna do this boss and then finish the game, hopefully. It's CatCon, so I'm stoked. And it felt like it had a lot of potential for the story to pull you in. Maybe they just didn't display enough of that in the trailers, to be honest. Would be accurate. A Nemi bastard! There we go. English breakfast. Hi, Bard. Good morning, day chat. Good morning, Bard. How you doing? Eat Nemi's bastard. Son, let me have a look. I can see it. I can see it, Rose. I can also see Kuromi from Hello Kitty. Not gonna lie. That's so cute though, and I can see yours close up now. Oh, they're so cute, like together. Oh, they're adorable. That's so cute. Your friend did a really good job. But I could see the Tempest vibe. Yeah, how do you make fire grease? Do you need more, like, root resin? Smoldering butterfly. Well, I have a lot of that. I have a lot of that. So we could go get some. Get some. What is that? That is something. It's like an advert. Get some. Get some what? What is it? I can't remember. I just saw the last video. We are reading books together. Oh, that was like. So in my game, right? I made Cows, one of my best friends, fellow streamer, and I obviously made Jim. And Cows saw Jim for the first time, and it was like love at first sight. Cows is smitten, and then she was in her house and wanted me to interact with her. And then she was like daydreaming about her and Jim reading books together, and they're playing. They're wearing matching pajamas. It was like heart pajamas. It was so cute. It was so cute. I was like, oh my god, I'm so here for this. I'm so here for this. That required them to talk to people. Nem talks to people all the time. You are open-minded and quick to make new friends. Nem talks to people all the time. That's what streaming is. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. Like, it just happened. It just happened, but I'm here for it. I ship it. I ship the Kells and Jim scenario. And then, Jim, you were like, I think Kells and Beatdrop would be great friends. Which Kells and Beatdrop are, like, in real life, best friends. Hi, Tempest
Welcome
cutie!
to Drunk Peasant Trucking.
How you
101.
doing? How was the rest of your stream? So Jim was like, I would like to introduce them. I was like, go for it. Go for it. They need to be best friends anyway. Agreed. That needs to be in Donkey Kong today. Oh, are you doing some more Donkey Kong today? She didn't stream last night and isn't today. She abandoned us. Yes. Yes. But, you know, Nemi's gonna have a good time. Have a good time. And I guess we'll have to wait. What do you mean, yes? Because not everybody is abandoned. Someone gets you all to themselves and we have to suffer. Ugh. Ugh. But no, I hope you and the cutie have a lovely time. Exactly, blame them. I will. Telepathically. No. We love love. We love love. We want happiness. I actually get to see my partner today for the first time in like a week since he's coming home today, so that's exciting. That's exciting. Ha, penis. Stream was good until I typed the raid name wrong and went to Do you know what? I think we've all been there. I think we've all done that. Or you've raided someone and they've literally just gone offline. That happened to me as well. Like someone raided and I had finished and I was sat here literally like in like the raid to someone else. And I was like, oh, it might have been suited actually. I can't remember. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. I'm still at the bar, by the way. Yes, Tempest, did I ever show up in your cafe? I meant to go a blue skill. Oh, but I looked it up and I don't think the channel exists. Oh. That's interesting, because I think if it doesn't exist, it should tell you. I'm not sure. But they should definitely tell you if a channel is offline or not, I feel. Are you sure you want to raid this channel? Because they are offline. This is why I always copy and paste names. That's also a shout. I tend to just look at the picture, so when you raid, it usually comes up with the picture of the person. Yeah. So that's how I know usually. Jumped into that. Oh. I didn't realize he could hit me with the backswing. I knew he was going to go again, but I didn't realize he could hit me with the backswing. I didn't realize he was going to do it again. Quicker than others. Thank you for the lurk. Love you too, Nem Nem. Dodged at the wrong time. No, it was going well. Now it's really not. Just wish he just did more of that, to be honest. Hell yeah. Oh, I dodged it. I don't understand how you did that. Okay. 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 Cool. Love that. Am I still going? Why is my stream frozen on this side? 1 second. It's buffering. Oh no, it's fine. Okay. Confusion much? Where did I get to? Oh, that's awkward. Why you don't exist? You and Jim kept coming in wanting witches' tits. So me. So real, so me. What can I say? Didn't we all want witch tits? Yes, I would. Love some magical tits. You're so demanding. Hi, Yusuf. How you doing? How you doing? It was super fun that Dev and one of the beta testers popped back in, but how we doing in here? Who's the big man and why is he so mad? Oh, what, yesterday? They popped in yesterday? That is pretty cool. That's exciting. This is the final boss. This is the final boss the Elden Ring boss. So if we do this, I think we finish the game. That poor person who's never streamed their life probably thought, what the fuck is going on? I wonder if, like, they would ever know if they got raided. Now we can be twins. Cav said chat said he raided someone wrong and they were reading smart. Oh, so they were actually live and then she's just gone there. I do find those streams interesting though. When like there's been a couple I've gone in there doing some reading. It's actually interesting. That stuff always used to fuck me up. I hate it. Yeah, I'm not keen on these moves, but we're getting better. We're getting better. We'll learn them more fluently, hopefully. There we go, T on the big screen. Hello. Hello, my pretties. No way, I've missed so much. You were fighting Malaketh last time I caught a stream. Oh yeah, you've missed. Since Malaketh, we did Malaketh. Then we started Godfrey. Did we finish Godfrey? I know we did finish Godfrey. We did finish Godfrey. Then I went and did every single optional boss. So then we had done 163 bosses. Then we did Millennia for like 4 streams, and we just did her last stream, and now we're on this guy. But hi, Brad, how you doing? So it's going okay. Doing well, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you. I don't like this guy. This guy does not please me in the best of ways, but I'm glad you're doing well, Yusuf. The ringed Elden themselves, yes. The ringed Elden is. It'd be cool though if you killed him and then like the beginning screen changed because like, you know, the rings would be like broken or something. We did her. Do you like her more or less than Millennia? Do you like her? Oh, what, the final boss? You mean? Holy smokes, you've been busy. What did you think of Millennia? Hard. I have never spent so long on a boss. We spent 5 hours on the Wednesday, 5 hours on the Friday, 5 hours on the Saturday, about 2 hours on the Tuesday, and then we did it Wednesday, I think about 2 hours into stream. I just was really struggling with like the blender attack, the waterfowl. Then I decided I wanted to, like, I figured out how to do it from long range, but I wanted to figure out how to do it close up, because that was the bit that was killing me. Was in the second phase she would do that, and that was just kind of very demotivating, because no matter how well I was doing, I was just dying to that one attack. Need to get ready to leave. I hope you have a lovely time, Rose. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. I hope you have a lovely weekend. But yeah, and then Wednesday we had, I don't know, we had a really great run. So I managed to do like the first phase, and we have a total of 14 flasks, and then we got into the second phase with 10 flasks, and in the second phase I didn't heal once, and it's the phase that I struggled with the most. So I don't know. And I highlighted it. So if you want to watch the Millennia fight, I highlighted it. It's on my channel. It's a 4-minute video. And I'm like, this battle that has taken me like 25-ish hours, no exaggeration, took me 4 fucking minutes. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? But somehow I didn't get frustrated. I seemed to stay really chill and patient. Where are you from in the UK, if you don't mind me asking? The only thing I'm willing to say is just England. Pinkies, of course. Yeah, I just run away from that attack. See, I was doing that, and I could do it, but there was too many times where in the second phase, she would do it, and then I would instantly die. And it was becoming quite tedious having to do the whole first phase, get to the second phase, for her to do that, and then... So I decided I wanted to punish myself a bit more and learn how to do it. Thank you, Neil. Yeah, there's the clip if anyone wants to watch it. Cool, I'm Manchester, just can't figure out your accent. I don't like people trying to guess my accent. Even if you tried to guess, I'll just say I'm not saying, because I just really value my privacy because of my daughter. You know, some people can get very strange, and I'm not willing to put myself in that situation, because it's not just me. Like, I have my daughter's safety to be considerate of as well. So yeah, totally fair. Yeah. See this with me. This is true. So yeah, I know people are like curious, but I just value my safety too much. He lives on the moon. On the moon? Damn it, no. Alright, we have ads coming up. I think I might have a package as well from Helenusi. I think it's just been delivered. Because my mum, it said it was meant to come today, and then my mum texted me like, I have a package here, but I really don't think it's mine. So, I mean, I could bring it up and we could look at what's in it. I'm excited. See, it was the moon all along. Oh my god, Jim and the moon. Jim and the fucking moon, mate. I thought too they put Nefer in Scotland. That true. That true. I meant to say that too. Scotland is the moon. Did you not know? Heck yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got a package from Helenusi. So I'm really excited to look at it. I got some stuff from her shop. And I actually can't remember what I ordered, so it's going to be even more exciting. Right, I'll be back in 3 minutes. It's Jim and Moon Man. Jim is very much, he thinks everything is decided by the moon. When he's not feeling great, Jim is like, you know, I blame the moon. Things like that. But I love it. It makes me laugh. Love me a full moon. I just love the sky and the stars. Like, when I'm outside and the stars are out, I can't help but... It's just breathtaking to me. I need to buy some groceries. I hope it goes well. I hope maybe some fresh air and stuff helps your headache. My face is on the moon. Alright, okay, I'll be back in 3 minutes. This is your opportunity to grab a drink, snack, take any meds, use the bathroom, stretch your body, take your eyes off screen, whatever you need to do, and I'll be back in 3 minutes. I have returned it. Right, where did I get to? I need it. I see a lot of people going for grace. Oh no. I hope it's not too busy. Oh, look at that crab, he's so cute. Panic buying? Why are people panic buying? Because their future is right and they need to go catch it. Yeah, why is everyone panic buying? Alright, okay. I also got my stuff. I got my stuff. My mum opened it, so I'm not very happy about that. But look. Look how cute. I want to keep it.
Dino yard.
Hi, Demon. How you doing? Yeah, my mum was confused because that had her name on it. Which I think because of the... I don't know. I ordered it and for some reason through Apple Pay it did her as the billing address. Which it's meant to do me. But yeah, I don't know. What can you do? Still at work, just jumping in to not lose streak. All good, Demon. All good. Look how cute it is. I got the little key ring. I might put it on my keys, to be fair. Love it. Got some little shooks. Got some little shooks. We're gonna have to give Harunusi a shout out. Oh my god, why are you... Shout out. I want to make sure I spell it right. Gotta make sure I get it exactly right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's who all this beautiful stuff is from. I hope you're having a good day, Demon. I appreciate it. I love her socks. I can't wait to wear them. They're so cute. A little bag. There's stuff in the bag! Hang on. It's gone on the floor. Wait. Wait. I got it off my foot. Oh, look at this one. This one's perfect. I art and I fart. Unboxing stream it is at the moment, yes. It's just so, it's beautiful. The packaging is so nice as well. And then we got the little Psyduck. Oh, she's so good. It's beautiful. Got my sister the egg key ring and she loves it. Oh, it is really lovely stuff. I think this was the free gift. I think you got a free gift if you ordered like a certain amount. Look how cute that is. Oh my god. That's so good for like shopping because I like to take reusable bags. I usually have like fabric ones. Put that one over there. Oh! This is going well. This is good. Is that it? I think it's... Oh no, I got a print as well. I forgot. I want this sticker. I want this sticker. I want it. That's so cute. This stuff is so cute. I was looking at her website and I was just like, there's so many things. I was like, how am I meant to pick and make responsible choices? I want this sticker. I got it. I got the sticker. Right, get my drink off the floor a sec. It's going well today. Hi Spider Goddess, how you doing? Also, hello, nails are cute. Thank you. I'm not really keen on them this time, but Yeah, they're a bit messy. They've cleaned up now, but yeah, they felt really messy. Ooh. I love trinkets. I love little things. Oh, okay. Oh, there's more stuff in here. Hang on. Here's more unboxing. It is. Hang on. I think we got it. Oh! Oh! I did get stickers. Okay, I think we got it out. I'm gonna keep it though so I can put it back in. Okay. Oh, these are so cute. We got this one. Look how cute. Oh, it's stunning. Planning my way through life. I'm so glad I got my camera set up as well because it really shows how beautiful this stuff is. I don't know if I might have got some of these free. Not sure. I don't remember picking all of these. I might have. I generally can't remember. Sucks to your ass bar. I feel like I did get this one though. Hehehehe. I love this kind of stuff. Then we got the little business card. Look how cute. Honestly, so talented. A lot has gone into this. That's what I liked about Nephra and Nems as well when I bought. There's so many of like the little touches. That's what that you just don't get. Do you know what I mean? Look at them. Oh. Do you have anywhere to put them? Because I also have so many stickers, but I'm scared to. Oh my, yeah, Bar. That's exactly what I do. That's just... No freaking way. Oh my god. No fucking way. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking cry. Alright. Okay. I think you guys have heard me talk so much about it. Eleanor told me that she did a BoJack piece and I said I wanted to see it. It's BoJack. This was the print that I had ordered. Look how fucking stunning it is. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. What do you mean? What do you mean? I got this beautiful one. But yeah, no, Bart, I'm the same. I love stickers. But then, because they're so beautiful, I'm like, I can't, I don't, I don't want to use it. But then, Kels and someone said about like framing them. So you could like put them in a frame and like display them, which I thought that's actually a really good idea. These are really pretty. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Oh. I like how she writes the like her signature on the back. Because I was watching a video and it was this painter saying that she added like a little label but behind the canvas that stuck out a little bit so that her signature didn't go on the piece, which I understand why, but I also see why you'd want to put it on the piece. Like, I'm the same because, you know, you want people to know it's yours. But I think in a sense where it's like this and you're like displaying it, I think that's really nice that you have it on the back. That's really nice. I can't remember if this was the Rizzo print one.
Mama bear.
Cupid cutie, hi.
Mama bear. Mama bear. Oh, she's
It just says my my order has been delivered. Bye, Cupid. How you doing, cutie? My mouse. Hello. There we go. Oh, that's weird. Why did that disappear for a second? Where did I get to? Oh my god, I know, I can't believe that I'm gonna have to send her a thank you message because it's adorable. I got a sticker book for a lot of them that can move around. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I like the frame idea so I can like display them. I still can't get over that. That's so cute. I'm like dying inside, honestly. We'll just put them in there. I might put these in here as well to keep them safe for the moment. Beep, bop, boop, bop, bop, beep, bop, bam. Is that everything? Put the ribbon in there because I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder of things. One second. My partner was like, call me. I'm like, I'm streaming right now. I can't. Alright, let me go over here a sec. That's revolutionary. I should get that. I thought about getting a little notebook or something to keep them in. Yeah, I think that's definitely like a little nice like thing. But I think like I want to display them. I want to display them nice. For me to see. I missed you. Oh, how are you, cutie? Cupid. Hi, Jid. How you doing? I'm doing amazing. Yesterday was my surgical rotation. It was incredible. I seen you talking a bit about this in gym stream, which I was looking at the time. And I think you were saying, like, you observe. Is that what it is? You're, like, observing the doctors and stuff? My god, the art is insane. Right. Helen Lucy's stuff is beautiful. I'm gonna have to send her a huge thank you. Or when she comes in, I'm gonna freak the freak out. If she comes in today. It's stream time. Yeah, we've been streaming. We've had a few attempts, but we had a break, and then that was delivered whilst I was. That was delivered. So I thought we'd open it. But yeah, beautiful stuff. Hang on a second. I'm going to I need to also tidy my room. It's bugging me. Here. We are just going to... Oh, I've just done something. Doop. We are just going to do this. I am going to pin it because it's beautiful. And people should look at it. We'll deliver with the final boss. It's been going okay. We're learning the dodges and things like that. It's going okay, I'd say. We just left to get some brute resin. So I could get some more flame grease. So I've got some in my eye. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to it. Ah! There we go. You're going to play the DLC? Not straight away. I've been playing this consistently since November, and I need a break. I really, really need a break. We'll play it this year. Sorry. Oh my god! Where are you? It's somewhere and I don't know where it is. Okay. Yeah, no, I need a break. So we're gonna play... I think we're gonna play San Andreas next, because I really want to play it. Still, like, the first game I ever played, but I never, did this story. I was like 7 or 8, so we just fucked around and did sandbox, like me and my brother. And I seen they've remastered it, so I think we're gonna do that. And then I think we're gonna do Bloodborne. Then we'll play something else, and then I think we'll do the DLC. Random question, does anyone have Luigi's Mansion 2 on the Switch? No. I think, like, Fonz's played Luigi's Mansion 1 on the Switch, I think. And I'm so sorry. Yeah. Where are you? Yeah, I can't see shit when I got my glasses on. Phantom hair. I think it was like on my eyelash. I could feel it. I could feel it on my eyelash. Bloodborne, yeah. I streamed that on GameCube. Oh, look at you go. Was it good? I've heard they're really good. I'm so sorry. I cannot eat. I cannot sleep tonight. Where are you? Missed it. I need to count that one. Oh shit. Missed it. Eh. Cheeky fucker. Feels so cheesy sometimes, not gonna lie. Went too early. Didn't realize it was gonna be a roundhouse one. Thought I had it. That was the second one. But we're figuring out. We're getting better. Learning that one like has a area effect or whatever it is. I feel like I dodged that at the right time. Hell yeah, there we go. Okay, we did this for the first time, so that's good. It's okay. But I don't think we're gonna do this one because we've not got enough flasks. Nice, thank you. We're learning. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is the first time I've seen this though. But we need to get into the second phase with so many more flasks.
Kim, you're doing amazing,
Push
sweetie.
this.
Thank you, Jim.
Oh, you know about the second boss already? It just... I've heard, you know, people have come into stream and they say the Elden Beast, you know, people kind of spoil that. Even though you say, like, don't spoil. So, sadly, yeah. So when it's, like, Radagon and people are saying the Elden Beast final boss, you're like, okay, well, that's clearly... Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? What the fuck? That's a penis. That's a penis. I will catch up, by the way, guys. I know I have to go back up, but I can't at the moment. Whoa. Very interesting direction, not gonna lie. Very interesting direction. And we're dead. Did a bit of damage though. Did a bit of damage though. But very interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. It's cool. But did I ever expect that to be the end boss? No. Not entirely what I expected. Where'd I get to? I streamed that on Gabe. That's what I got. I bought it for her. He did. Tears falling for the From Software propaganda. The world is healing. I'm excited. I'm excited. You like Blood? I think I will enjoy Bloodborne, yeah. But I think I'll enjoy more of a little break in between. I'm actually very excited to play a game which is linear and straightforward. I think I streamed that when we first met, but wouldn't mind streaming it again, to be honest. I actually don't remember what I first watched you stream, not gonna lie. It was before I backed up my VODs, yeah. Get MT, I think that was okay. I think it was okay. I'm learning. The delayed attack. You should make this guy into Matachi as well? No. 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 I have the biggest crush on this redhead Radagon. That's when I thought I would just dodge to see more of him. Really, Cupid? Interesting. Thank you, Jim. That's a penis. Every man must have an Elden Beast, right? He kind of goes with the guy made of sparkly balls. Oh, yeah, the Altus or... Yeah, I know what you mean. Not bad? Yeah, not bad. We've got to the second phase. That's a start. Which is like an hour and a half in. Which I think Millennia took us so much longer to get to the second phase. The Elden Bees. You got this? It's cute. You watched me play Finding Nemo on PS2. I think that was the first stream. I don't know. Honestly, I really can't remember. I used to watch a lot of streams back then. You're doing amazing. Thank you. I know you would stream when someone else would stream that I would usually watch in mod for. So I think it took me a while to be able to catch you. Hi, Moogie! How you doing, lovely? Right. We need to get to that phase better. Thank you for the community love, cutie. Animal love. Okay. Let's get in there. We on my channel. can't I fucking crit him? Damn. Miss. Not really much I could do. Needed to kill. What the fuck? Come on, man. That just seemed unfair. Ooh, okay, I tried to dodge, did not work. Bip! Oh, I forgot he does that. I know he does that, and I bloody forgot. Eh. Bonk! 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 Oh, damn it. Bonk! Oh, I know he does that as well, and I keep forgetting. Beep! Not great, but we're getting faster. I knew he was going to do that as well. Not great, but we actually we did that so fast. I think we kind of, not ideal, we need more flasks, but figured out how to get the speed in there, I think. You know? Oh, okay. What's happening? What's happening? Oh, this one. Did I do it? Did I do it? I think I did it. The fuck is that? Is that a problem? Unsure. Inconclusive. I can't see! Ah! Okay. 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 Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. This is fine. Oh, he just slammed his body on me. Cool, 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 cool. I think we did okay. Considering that's the second time we've got there, I think that was alright. I think that was alright. We got through the first phase quite quick. If we can get through the first phase, more like we did, more flasks, I think we have a chance. Maybe today. Maybe today. Where did I get to? Okay, now if you want a real challenge, grab a Sega Genesis and play. Oh my god, what is that, Tempest? From the lore, it's such a cool concept for a boss. I'm very excited to finish and listen to the lore videos, I'm gonna be honest. And good, thanks, that makes me happy to hear, Moggy. I'm doing good, thank you, I'm doing good. I'm eager, I feel eager. A flow state. I think we're getting there, Learning how to dodge his attacks felt very satisfying. Yeah. I don't think this is gonna take us as long as Millennia. He's spamming? He gets very spammy. When you know their whole deal. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think Slade. Did Slade send me the video? I asked him to. I can't remember if he did. No, I think he said he was going to. I'll just have to harass him and be like, what's the video you told me about? Cheating, really. A little bit. Let's go. Hi, Will. Welcome in. How you doing? Elden Beast looks so cute. It makes such a... I think, yeah, it's kind of... It's not super threatening. It's big, but it's very, like, round. Like, sploogey. Like, squishy. Yeah. Like a giant giraffe puppy. Yeah. You did it. Congrats. Well, like, I finished it. Who can make things explode and blow it up? Yeah. Why is it called Elden Beast when it should be called Marketable Beast? Using godly attacks, the Chad Souls player roll. Yeah, just rolling through the attacks. I love this boss. It's actually alright. It's alright. I'm just gonna do my tactic of like when I fight really big things, and that's head for the ass. You got this, don't worry, you're gonna kick his ass soon. I feel it. I feel we're doing good. Got there 2 times in a row? Yeah. Hi Rolly, how you doing? How was the rest of your stream? I was lurking, but I was doing my drawing. Just an older game that's cute when you play a dolphin, but it's deceptively hard to. Oh, like the controls are janky. Absolutely, I think you'll get it the stream. I hope so. I really hope so. You could use the donkey when you're fighting. Oh, you can use Torrent? Can you? Damn, that changes things. I'm glad you're well, yeah. Well, doing the best I can. I think you get a statue of Elden Beast, right? Can you? I don't know. Well, thank you for the 60 stream streak. Thank you. I appreciate it. Did you see the Lego Batman feature they showed this morning? No. What is it? We beasted in here? We're beasted in here. Roll around the speed of sound. No, the levels are super hard. Oh, okay. Is it like platforming or something else? It was alright. Rivals is rivals. Do you know what game you're gonna stream next? Okay, that could help because obviously he goes a bit of a distance, doesn't he? So, could you imagine if you could use that on the first bit? You can create your own Batcave in Lego Batman. Fuck off. Are you for real? You can customize your Batcave? I don't believe it. Beef Money! Hi! I will send you it. Please do. Please do. Hi, Beef Money. How was beef today? Oh, tried to dodge, did not work. Dodge! Missed that. Oh, trying to dodge 2 things then is crazy. And dodge. Too early. Yeah, this is not a good one. We're like using so many blasts already. Like I had that. Like 2D size rolling, yeah. Nah, fuck that. You're gonna love Bloodborne. Bloodborne is an amazing game too. Yeah, I look forward to it, especially like the artwork and stuff. Picopia, Batcave. Maybe Retro Rewind. I haven't actually heard of that. What's that? Beef good, beef full of eggies. Nice, nice. Happy to done all. Oh, how did that all go? It's Ratty. Ratty Daddy. My friend gave birth 2 days ago. How exciting. Oh, I hope it all went smoothly for them. That's so sweet. I love babies. I sent you it. Now I'm like, I want to get the game now. I'm so excited for it. Oh, the ninja. Oh, the ninja. Have a nice dream and I gotta go to work and hope you kick his ass. Thank you, Jid. I hope work goes well. Thank you for coming in and I hope work goes well. You're gonna kick work's ass like I'm gonna kick his ass. If the same boss. Do you mean this guy? Look, I'll get some nons. All good. Thank you for the lurk, Cupid. Enjoy. And then with the backswing. Yeah, nice. I got too greedy. I just shouldn't have done 2 hits then. And dodge! Being too messy and clumsy. Oh, I didn't realize you were going to do that. I pressed dodge! I pressed it! I keep doing that. It's a scenario where you run a retro movie store like Blockbusters. That sounds really cool. Jim, have you heard of this game? That sounds really cool. I love like simulators like that. Went good. We crushed it. One of my reporters did a really good job. I kind of took a step back this year and I ran most of it so I could do all the talking. That's good then. That's good. Yeah. That's good that you were able to like take more of a step back and someone could step up. Is this the guy that throws light darts and stuff? It's the final boss. The lore in this game is something else. I look forward to listening to the video. Did I? No. Beef's main job is to charm the pants off. I imagine you do well. Okay, right. I'll catch up when I'm dead again. Oh. No, messed up my timings. There we go. I usually get that one. Oh, he hit me with that one. I'm just messing up now. not I'm missing the flow. Everything went well, all doing fantastically, and I couldn't be proud of her. I've known her for 14 years. When I first met her, she was quite shy and stuff, but I can't shut her up now. Wouldn't have. Oh, that's so sweet. Aww. Are you excited to meet her, or have you met her yet? I was talking about it on stream. Oh, well, have you played it? You're acting like I listened to every single bit of your stream. BRB, all good. Girl, I don't play these games often. I don't even know the name of the bosses. Invisible teleport thing for 9 stars. So I call him a ninja. Fair, fair. I'm not here to judge your names. The sexy beast or something. I don't know the lore. Bart, I was so proud of myself, right? Hang on. When you posted the picture, and I was like, oh, this guy must do madness. I was so proud of myself that I knew that. You don't even know. Oh, I'm pressing it like way too late. There we go. We're dead. Okay, apparently not. He does so much damage. I'm literally dodging and it's not good. He's annoying. He knows the Elden Ring. Honestly, when I was like, wait, does this guy do madness? I was like, I actually know shit. I know shit. Final boss. We are on the final boss, Blame. How you doing? Let me give you a shout. Guys, I joined Blame's stream the other day, and they were playing Hollow Knight with a fucking keyboard. With a fucking keyboard. A keyboard. Not like, sorry, not a computer keyboard, like a piano keyboard. I was like, the fuck? And they weren't like dying either. Doing great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, right. But your setup was sick, like all the lights, it was fucking cool. Ah, just missed it. Not great. Not great. Unfortunate. I don't understand how sometimes you can do that and sometimes you can't. The fuck is happening? Dead. Yeah, no, this isn't going well. Hello. Wow, okay. He's just so spammy, it's annoying. Like, not giving me a fucking moment. This isn't the one, but we're getting better. We're getting better. I super great actually. I just bought an alto sax to do on stream. I need to go, but good luck with the bosses. Thank you, Bread. I appreciate it. I've also said I got half an hour more, so I'll go watch for now. Welcome back, dude. I'm back. I just listened to the bomb theme for 007 First Light. That's how else sings it. Oh, for the game, yeah. One vibe is so there. I'm glad. Let's fucking go. Yeah, this is the third time we've got here, but yeah. We don't have that many flasks, so I'm not feeling like it's gonna happen. We have no flasks, I don't know why we're saying not that many. We just need to get to this phase with more. To be honest. Oh. I feel like I definitely jumped at the right time, but apparently not. You know, that's what it is. It's what it is. Tried to use the donkey. Did. But obviously going in that we need flasks. It's not gonna happen if we don't have flasks. But that's the third time we've got there now today, so that's not bad. That's not bad. It's annoying, I know. I feel like the first phase is more annoying actually so far from what I've experienced. My opinion might change, but that's my opinion at the moment. He's very spammy, whereas when we were in the second phase, I dodged more of the attacks when I was in there a while. You're growing to know that, yeah, no, that's what it's about. It's like a puzzle. You just gotta dodge at the right time. Jim's like, shut the fuck up. I should know he was gonna do two then. Missed. Too early. I don't know how to. I maybe I need to do it just as he hits the floor. I don't really know. Another one, great. Ah! Yeah. There we go. My hands getting sweaty. Damn, that was going so well. Look, we were like quarter of the way, 11 flasks. That was a really good attempt. If we had done that and gone to the Elden Beast, I think we would have had a really solid chance. Press dodge to dodge, exactly. Exactly. Let me snooze once more. You're doing better than I am. Fight with this guy. You can see the lines that are coming towards you. You gotta roll the opposite way. Is that the one with the bam? But thank you. Doing great, Sweaty. Sweaty is when you know you're doing well. That was a good phase. Thank you. I think we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel kind of confident we could do it today. Yes, yeah. I think I got it at the end. I think I have to hit just as he touches the ground because I'm just getting flopped in the air. Right in. Smack, smack. Oh, I went too early. Alright, let's get healing. Too early again. Too early. Yeah, no. We weren't in the flow that time. You could beat Millennia, you could beat this guy and his dinosaur. I would like to do it today, that'd be great. I'd like to do it today. Your rules, I got it really good. So I don't know what you mean, Jid. We'll see how it goes. Right, we'll probably have one more attempt before an ad break. And then give it another go. I think we're doing good though. It's just sometimes... It's a stupid phone. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. It's all good. I pressed dodge! That's frustrating. Too early. We usually get that one, so that's a shame. Around. I pressed dodge. I know when I'm meant to dodge, and then sometimes I'm just not doing it. No, but no. I'm gonna get on my epic Minecraft grind, but I'll be working and passively sending encouraging vibes. Thank you. When you are able to speak, I'd love to know what you're doing in Minecraft. Love me some Minecraft. I need to put my phone on charge. My phone lives permanently on low battery, I swear. I love that. Okay. Right. We still got a little bit of time before ads, so we'll do another attempt. Your dodge is getting better. I think so. I think so. I'm learning. I'm learning. It's just sometimes when they're a bit of a delayed attack, then it's like, damn it. I'm pushing to get a new phone. Oh, to not. When did you get your last phone? That's what I was trying to say. Oh, okay. I see now. Thank you. When did you last get your phone? Oh, I went too early. Not bad though. Oh, I fucking dodged. Boop! Oh. I'm getting better at like those things as well. Too early. I say as then I do it too early. I'm making like silly mistakes. Need to be out of the way when he does that. There we go. So cheesy sometimes. Too early. Ah. Because sometimes it looks like it's gonna be the multiple ones. Ah, press roll. Woo! But we're getting there. I just need to stay more clicked on. Let me snooze out a sec. Boop. Okay, we got 5. That's the most. Are you nervous? Not really, actually. No. No. I'm actually not that nervous. Okay, that's the most we've got since coming in here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Ah, shit. Heal. Not doing a lot of damage though. Oh shit. Why am I not getting it? There we go. Where do we go? Where have we gone? Oh shit. Do we not want to be near him? Okay, I don't know what's happening. Is it safe? What's going on? Oh shit, I didn't mean to get off! Oh shit. We might be dead. Why are we not two-handing our weapon? That's what I would like to know. We're just not doing a lot of damage. Shit. I think we're dead. Yeah. Not great. I don't know if it's good doing it with Torrent though. We just seem to be doing like barely any damage. Maybe it's like just patience, I'm not sure. I'm exploring, I'm doing a challenge where I try to get one of every item. Ooh, good luck! I hope you have fun, Bard. Like 3 years ago? Oh, I see. Yeah, I can get that then. I mean, I had a phone for years, like, yeah, I have to get a new phone. I've done this fight so many times, pre-Torrent being allowed that, I just can't fight it with him. I'm trying to decide if I should fight it with him or not, because it just seemed like I wasn't doing a lot of damage at all. But you also weren't double-handing our weapon, and I can't remember... If you're riding him, can you not double-hand your weapon? I don't even know. Hang on. Let me just go somewhere a second. Beastie Boy! But also, Old Man Schmidt, welcome in. How you doing today? Let me have a look a sec. No, you're gonna do the one-arm swings. Yeah, that's what I thought. Torrent is a godsend for this fight. So you did it with Torrent? Tame that beast, babe. I think it's just a bit long-winded. Like, I think you can do it, but it just takes a while. And that's like when you get down, maybe like fight him off the horse, and then when he's flying around, then get on the horse. Maybe we'll try that. Just apply for a job, night shifts in a shop. Hell yeah! I hope you get it. I hope you get it. You did really good, thank you. We went in there with five flasks, so that's the most. So that's progress, I'd say. I actually forgot you can use Torrent, but I didn't use him in the fight. I think I'll use him when we're running around. And then maybe get off because I could do more damage. I did the same. Okay, okay. When he doesn't move, you can... Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, otherwise it's going to be long. Okay, guys, we have ads. So this is your opportunity to grab a drink, snack, take any meds, stretch your body, take your eyes off the screen, whatever you need to do. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Maybe after the ad break, this is when we do it. Who knows? I'm excited. I gotta go. Have a nice day. All good, Jid. I hope work goes well. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. That should be over in a minute. I do feel sometimes the beast fight, sorry. I don't know why she's barking. Can be a little tedious, okay. So that's just a normal thing, that's great. Woof woof, very woof woof. As I was coming upstairs. Alright. Okay. I feel like we can do this. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Let's fucking go. I don't like the skipping every time. That's another tedious aspect. Cheesy fucker. Oh, fucking pressed it! This was going really well though, until then. Sorry, I hit... No, I didn't realize you were gonna come swinging at me. It was going really well until then. You fucker. It was going so well. It gets so spammy, it's actually fucking... It's ridiculous, to be honest. Like, the fuck is that? Come on. We were in such a flow. I don't know if we do one now. Will it take us into the next phase with it, possibly? Don't know, let's just see. Yes, cool. It was running away, so I went to go on torrent, and then obviously I was just on the floor, so I couldn't do anything. There was no avoiding that, unfortunately. But we got in there with 6 flasks, so there's definitely some improvement. Literally, Jim, I'm like, ah! I can feel it. It's like so close. I can feel it. I need to remember to breathe. Okay, let's go. Hey, come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. how to dodge for a second. Cheesy fucker. Oh, too late. You fucking little bitch. Teleporting's getting me a little bit. Wasted a blast there. Hi Horror, how you doing? Eva, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. The dodge rolls, the dodge rolls. We're getting better. We're getting better. We are definitely. I didn't know he did that. Doing good, lovely. How are you? I'm also doing good, thank you. How was your... Was it... No, that wasn't today. Was it yesterday? How was your horror date? How was the mummy? Stepping up, let's go. Cheap attack, hate it. I didn't realize he did that. I think as soon as he's kind of like moving around a bit, I'm gonna get on torrent and just ride around to be safe. I think. The movie is really good. Do you rate it high? Is it one of your favorite films you've seen this year? Been lurking, but been in the background with my mum after she had a doctor appointment yesterday, just helping and stuff. I hope she's doing well. And that's all good. We're just doing the same thing. But doing better at it. I'd say a solid 8.5. Hell yeah. Love that. Oh, should have realized I was going to do it again. I need to be more careful with that, because that's what keeps getting me. I need to stop going for him when I don't know he's going to be there. Oof. Okay. Like that. Fucking hell. getting better though. She's sitting, she's stoked, thankfully thankfully with how it went, just recovery mode now. Okay, okay. I hope recovery goes well. I don't really know what that does. Oh shit. Oh, that's annoying. That's exactly how we just died. We had 8 flasks. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, she had to have them do that camera down her throat thing, and she hated it last time. Yeah, I can imagine it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, hopefully recovery goes well, and I'm glad the procedure went well as well. I got some similar family stuff happening. But the feeling that it will fade after a few days, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Lagged a little bit then. That's a shame, it's not usually got us with that one for a while. Oh, again? Brilliant. Seem to get the millisecond lag in this boss area a lot. In this one, yeah, the air flight up from below looks so sick. Yeah, it's definitely a very cool looking situation, I agree. Right, I'm still bored. See, that bit doesn't seem to do well. We were doing so much better before. Maybe I just shouldn't be on torrent at all. Maybe torrent is just messing me up. Because I seem to actually do better when I wasn't on it. Also, how they go from looking cool already to this thing is wild. I don't know how I feel about this thing though. I feel like they could have had like, I don't know. Like, don't shoot me for saying this, like more badass looking things. I don't know. I don't know why this was what they decided on. That just might be a me opinion. It's definitely not what I was expecting. Dodge that bit, alright. So cheesy, man. I don't think this is it. I think it's just an abstract design of it trying to be the ultimate being. I guess, yeah. It gives me a dragon vibes, or yeah. Godzilla, I get that. And no lore expert. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, it's cool. I agree. I don't know what it's doing. I want it to heal. Fuck. What's happening? time. Where are you going? Hi, Bulgard. How you doing? Freaking Saja, bro. Wait, what? Show them you're the true Elden Beast. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm still learning what the hell he does. If we could get into the second phase with a bit more flasks, that'd be good. Yeah, Millennia, we weren't struggling for flasks. This one is a bit of a struggle. Ouch. Yeah, it hurt. It didn't feel good. Hi, Daba. How you doing? Whoopsie. This is where you're getting cheesy, mate. So it's just cheating, really. I fucking pressed it. We're doing pretty well as well. Fucking bullshit. Honestly, it feels like cheating. I think I rage quit several times that dragon. Oh, really? It can be a bit annoying. This guy ate my lunch several times too. This fucking guy. Hello, people. Hi, Demon. How you doing? That was going really well, though. I just, I gotta clean up my shit. Clean up my shit. But, you know, maybe we won't do it today. I don't think I can stream as long today, because I do have some stuff I gotta do. So, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Who knows? Made it on the bus. I wish though it was closer to the city. Oh, so you didn't have as long to travel. I pressed it, you little fucking bitch. Sorry, my dog's barking. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Oh, you cheesy fucker, man. Oh, I shouldn't have killed them. I dodged. You can tell I dodged as well because when I come out of the sequence, it does it. I literally am pressing it before you do it. I have some stuff I've got to do. No, no, it's not. No. I need to sort my room out. I intentionally died then, by the way, because I was like, no, this run's pissed me off. This run's pissed me off. I might give it one more go. Maybe like a few more goes. Maybe I'll go to 3 hours today. Because, like I said, I got some stuff I got to do. I gotta sort my rooms out. There's something in here that's really bugging me. And I thought I could deal with it whilst I streamed, but I'm here and it's like, no, it's really bugging me. It's really bugging me. I think it'd be good to have a break as well. Because then we can come into it tomorrow pretty, fresh. But we've already got a lot better today. So, is this the final boss? This is the final boss, yes. Oh, I keep doing that. I keep doing it too late, and I know because it keeps getting me on the end tail of it. Your room in someone's actually live? No, I've already done that. I've already got my room. Looks nice. Mr. Pizza Drop, good to see you, Mr. My Lord. Has he told you what's going on? Yes. Yes. Pizza Drop has seen all of the UN Kel's core. This dies tomorrow? Most likely, yeah. Hi, Black Udon. This is the Elden Bouncer protecting the Elden Club. Elden Club is where people smoke the Elden weed. That sounds legit, you know. Why did I fall out of the sky? Ooh. I'm stuck. was stuck-a-roonied. No, missed it. We got that the first time I did it as well, without time. Missed it. Jesus Christ, poor Kels. Jim, have some fucking confidence, dude. What the fuck? Come on, man. Come on. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you little fucking bitch. You are a gem, and any woman would be lucky to have you. This thing is really cool. It definitely is. What if you jump? Then I might survive. I dodged it the first time I pinged, but I might be wrong. Can't remember. But you know, not mad about the progress. Don't fucking look at it. Don't give me that look, Jim. Bitch. Coming in here talking shit about yourself. Won't have it. I won't have it. Won't have you guys coming in talking shit about yourselves. Won't be having that. Yeah, I knew I did that a bit late. Lovely. So we get to like halfway pretty well, and then it's the second half of this bit that does not seem to go well for me. That one. I can do it, sometimes I can't. Right, first kill. Not bad, not bad. Dodge too late. Okay, but not bad because we're not in it. That's fine. Usually we get him and get a hit then, but it's what it is. I did that one too early as well. I don't trust you, my dude. I didn't realize you were doing the double one. For fuck's sake. Dodge! You were doing that one. Yeah. Okay, what if I jump? Okay, if he does it this time. I don't think that's it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Where did you go now? Where did you go now? I wanna know. Where did you go now? Where did you go now? I wanna know. Where is he? There he is. Where'd he go? I don't know what the fuck that does. Okay. Just that. That's what it does, guys. Am I doing okay? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh shit, okay, I didn't know that did that. Okay. Wow. It's doing really well with that as well. I know you said to jump, but I was already dodging the other one. What the fuck? I have no idea if I'm doing well or not. Dead. Oh, we're doing so well. See, and as soon as I got on torrent, that's the thing that fucked me up. I was doing so much better when I wasn't on him. That was our best attempt yet. I think what's annoying about this is the running around. That seems kind of quite annoying. And the biggest obstacle is the running around. Yeah, it was on my tail when it was close. Good shit, buddy. Thank you. I think... Oh! My ankle! I'm gonna rest you on stream tomorrow. Thank you, Demon. Have a good rest. I appreciate you. Oh, my ankle did not like sit like that. Nice try for sure. Thank you. I'd like my ankle on my lap. Ankle, man. Cheap fuck. Two in a row. Fuck off. Thank you for the alert. I think so well. Holy shit. Oh. A bit early with that one, Karen. We don't have a lot of flasks either for the next phase, so it's not looking good. Why does he keep doing this one? Like, sometimes he doesn't even do this one. Fucking cheating, oh fuck. It generally feels like cheating at times. Not gonna lie. 2 flasks is not enough. But I think after this attempt, we'll finish there. Shit, mate. You got this? I definitely don't. 2 flasks? No. Definitely not. I love your belief, though. It's very sweet. We're getting really close though. I reckon tomorrow we could get this. If I had more time, I would sit and do this, to be honest. But I think we'll stop there. I feel confident we can do this tomorrow. Nice try, thank you. I mean, not bad considering we had 2 flasks going in there, but yeah. Yeah, I think we can do it tomorrow. I think we can do it tomorrow. Should we see where we should go? Wait. Cass is streaming. What's Cass streaming? Oh, the new game. Oh. We could go there. We could go there. My ankle really hurts. I think we'll go see Cass. Because I was looking Cass anyway. Yeah. She's playing Mouse PI for Hire, which is a new game. Yeah, some solid runs for sure. 100%. I feel like, yeah, next stream we'll get it. For sure. Good stuff today, buddy. Well done. Yeah, thank you. I reckon we'll get it. We'll get it next stream, and then we can start off next week with like a new game. Do you know what I mean? Consensus for tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow it is. I reckon so. Like I said, if I had more time, I'd go for it. But you know, maybe we'll just savor that moment a little longer. Cass is on Mouse PI. Yes, yes. I've been lurking. I have a streak going on. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you to the raid messages funds. Thank you for the lurks, the streaks. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Bye saves. Too good. Too good. We'll show Cass some love. Cass is got her webcam in black and white. I love that. The full dedication. Thanks for streaming. Tomorrow you get them. I believe so. I reckon if we sat here longer, we could have done it today, but it is what it is. Thank you for streaming. Have a good rest day. You too. All right. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Look after yourselves. And I will see you guys tomorrow where we're going to become Elden Lord. I see it. I see it in the future. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.